us, but I would like to welcome former senior U.S. Justice Department official and founding partner of DeGeneva and Toensing law firm, Victoria Toensing. Victoria, welcome to the program.
Good to be here, Grant.
So, Victoria, you've gone through your own ups and downs with Fox News. They didn't like some of the very conservative and very real things you were saying. They punished you for it. What do you make of this lurch?
Well, it was the same thing. It was George Soros. My husband on the Lou Dobbs show correctly said that George Soros controls parts of the State Department. That's factually correct. Victoria Nuland, who's in charge of Eastern European countries, and that includes Ukraine, where Soros does most of his business, had an open door policy with him. He called her Toria by her nickname. We have the emails. John Solomon got a bunch of the emails. But more significantly, when Joe Biden got Victor Shokin fired for investigating his son in Burisma, guess who else Victor Shokin was investigating? He was investigating ANTAC, which is an NGO of George Soros. So Biden got to take care of his political buddy and his son at the same time.
Look, Victoria, I know we can tie George Soros to so many of these things, from the Ukraine to the State Department to even the caravans coming up that we saw before coming up. He was funding many of these open society programs. What is it about Fox News that is now moving further and further left? You know, being at least a voice for conservatives, put them on top. What do you make of what's going on over there?
I have no idea, and neither do people who I'm friendly with. They're, by the way, Grant, you can't say that George Soros funded those caravans, because the person from Judicial Watch, Chris Farrell, was taken off of Fox for having said that.
Yeah,
so
well,
and it's perplexing. There's a power and influence so pervasive. When we did it, the Soros organization wrote to Fox about Joe's factual statement and said we were anti-Semites. And Fox caved and took us off the air. But we're
so that's where the president. Well, and I'm so glad you're here, and we love your husband as well. And I think your insight into all of this is fascinating, which brings us to the other part of all this, though, is the implications for President Trump. And as I said earlier, I would love it that Newsmax, it could be as powerful as Fox News is today. I wish I had as many viewers as some of their evening program does. We will get to that point, but we're not going to get there in the next 45 days. The president needs Fox News. What do you make of the president now and this whole run up to the election and the implications that Fox News moving left could have on the election?
Well, I think people are very aware of this, Grant, because whenever I tweet about something, and I tweeted about the Soros thing a couple of times, people are all tweeting back saying, yes, that's why I'm not watching Fox anymore. And in fact, many say, I'm now watching Newsmax. So, but the president has to talk about it, and he has to just say, Fox is not what it used to be, without saying, but that's all right, which is his speech habit, as you know.
Well, absolutely. And look, more and more viewers are realizing this, which is why I think I see them coming over to Newsmax now. And what we promise you and what you've done, Victoria, here and your husband and others, is straight talk. What we need right now is straight talk, moving through this process of getting a Supreme Court nominee confirmed. I want to play you a clip from Chris Wallace, because I think Chris Wallace's comments to Senator Tom Cotton kind of prove the point of what we've been talking about. So let's roll this soundbite.
You stated a pretty firm principle in 2016 about Merrick Garland. It's wrong to deny voters a chance to weigh in. You don't see any hypocrisy between that position then and this position now?
All right. So look, he says you don't see any hypocrisy. No, there's no hypocrisy, because we controlled the Senate in both cases. They do not control the White House this time around. They did back then. That's the difference. Chris Wallace states it as if it's fact, as somehow Tom Cotton and the rest of the Republicans are being hypocritical, Victoria.
Well, we're used to Chris. He's gone after Joe and me, too, with false statements. But the response to that is, I want to quote somebody, a very good Democrat, that said, elections have consequences. And that was stated by Barack Obama right after he got elected president. And the Senate election in 2018 had consequences. 2 more Republican senators were added. And so the American people said, We want the Senate to determine confirmation of Supreme Court justices.
You know, Victoria, there's not a lot of things that I agree with Barack Obama on, but when he said elections have consequences, he was spot on. And this is one of those instances where elections certainly had consequences. Victoria Toensing, it is so great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on the program. We can't wait to see you again soon.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.